watching us live. There we go, because we want to be able to share this. So welcome everyone to our monthly energetic explorations for evolution Facebook Live. And this month is Leo, and our topic is cultivating creativity, confidence, and self-expression. So Beth, do you have anything you want to say before? Well, I am Andrea Hyland. I guess that I'm not used to like introducing myself into the group, but anything you want to say before we begin here?
Just welcome everybody. I'm Beth Terrence. I'm a shaman and transformational facilitator, and Andrea and I have been we co-created and facilitating this, like I would say, well, the community itself is an exploration, but it's called Energetic Explorations for Evolution. We started in, well, I guess it was at March, right? It was at the spring equinox and the beginning of the astrological year of Aries. So we are following the astrological months as our calendar. And so there is I guess a thread of astrology in it, but it's also an opportunity to just really be exploring just how to be more consciously an energetic being and how to tune in to our own energy and the energy of others and of the universe, and to learn to sometimes we're struggling, and sometimes it's our own personal experience, but sometimes it's something that's happening collectively too. So just to kind of have more awareness of that, as well as just find our own natural rhythms with the different seasons. And so the themes of each month are related to the astrological sign and to the energy of that season, whether we're in spring, summer, winter, fall, also the elements of fire, air, earth, and water. So it's just really an opportunity to explore each month. So we're glad to share with you today about Leo.
Beautiful. Thanks, Beth, for that. And I also want to say that when you're working with energy, creating some kind of a container for the energy in whatever that is, the way that you're holding space. So that's one of the reasons in our exploration, we decided astrology, like, with everything else that you just explained and shared, Beth. So it's like, it's a container for what we are creating here.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm going to stop the slideshow so you can lead us in.
Okay. All right. So see if I can do this. I decided to start with a little song. Let's see if I can get the pitch right here. I am what I am. I am my own special creation. So come take a look, give me the hook or an ovation. It's my world that I want to have a little pride in. My world, and it's not a place I have to hide in. Life's not worth a damn till you can say, I am what I am. Okay.
I didn't know that was going to happen. What a great
So that is to me a Leo song. And yesterday it just started playing in my head. And then I listened to the recording by Gloria Gaynor that came out in 1984. It was originally composed by Jerry Herman for a musical. And I also realized this morning, it is what God said to Moses at the burning bush. I am that I am. I am, not I am what I am, but I am that I am. And that is just such a powerful encoding. And so in this theme of the thing that I wanted to share, let's see, I'll do my little thing where I time, because I'm just going to speak from whatever comes up in this moment. The thing that has been really stirring me is this dance of the inner and outer. So the confidence that it took for me to sing that on the recording, part of it was building the fire within myself and to feel the readiness of being able to sing it out loud. And so it might have been that I woke up this morning and I was like, nope, that song is just for me. That is what I'm going to sing it throughout my day, in the car or on a walk, but I'm not going to do it in the group. And there was a fire. There was enough of a fire that had built within me, this Leo fire, that I was like, I'm going to do it. And my only hesitation was, I don't have my, tuning instrument here. So it was like, can I start it at a place where, because it's a wide range. It's a low song to get to the high notes. And so building the confidence there. So the thing I wanted to share also is my own creative process of building the fire within. So I am a writer. I hold space for people who are creating. And it was back in 2018 that I started the incubator as a place for women to process their creativity. And I say that because it's not just about sitting down and writing something, writing a song, painting something that you're then going to display, writing a blog, creating online programs, building a business. There is so much of the inner cultivation that happens to then, that's why we say cultivating creativity begins. Okay, I want to clarify that. It may be that you're sparked by something outside of you, and then you take it within to build the fire. And so one of the things that I do in the incubator and that I've done in blog challenges for myself is to write something every day for 100 days. So what it takes to write something for 100 days, whether it's like, I'm going to blog 100 days in a row, or I'm going to put it into the incubator 100 days, is that I begin by, there's usually something that sparks me from the outside. It might be a topic, it might be a conversation. And then I spend a period of time reading articles, putting quotes into a Word document, doing little bits of writing, reading books. I'll be awakened by a dream. I might see something on a film or movie, and these spark something in me that wants to be expressed. And so I'll start with a Word document. And right now I have like 150 pages in a Word document of ideas and quotes and things that have stimulated this, and just as a thing, one of the next incubator has Flip the Script, consciously co-creating your future. So I've been asking myself, what does that mean to me? So it's like flip the script on peace, flip the script on like healthcare, and using that in that 100 days. But it's the building the fire. And I can tell you that there have been maybe 1 or 2 incubators where I didn't have enough time to build the fire. And it can be really depleting to find that creativity every day. And there were times where I wanted to post something at night and I just couldn't get it. I just couldn't pull the thing out. And part of that, and that can happen even when you've got your fire built, but it makes a big difference to have some space to create and to be in the uncertainty and the mystery of how it will all come together. And I noticed the other day, I had been reading articles. I have a friend, Karen Porter, who, and I'll just wrap this up in a minute. Karen Porter gets magazines and she will save them for me. And so when I come to Seattle, I'll have these periods where I'll like read through all of these magazines that she's saved to see if there's something that's interesting or sparking to me. And one morning I'd read for about 2 hours. I was really sparked by all these different articles. My daughter Hannah called me, and somehow in our conversation, I was just reading an article about that, or, oh, here was another article. And so there was this integration process of actually speaking it out loud and then opening up the article to get more of the information. But I was starting to really, it's like who we're becoming in the process of creating, where the article sparked something that was already inside of me that I wanted to express. And that's why the process is so important. And I also, when I think of the element fire, for me, many times fire is anchoring into the earth to be able to bring that fire out in a safer way. And the only other thing that I want to just shine a light on is that there's a post in the group, and I'll actually post it again when we finish this recording, about the astrology and of this month. I put some highlights into a post. And so I'm not even going to talk about those. I'm going to just pass it off to you, Beth. And I know that you may highlight something in the astrology, and then I'll be back to do the next piece. Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you.
Okay. And I know you were going to share, a practice for us at some point,
Yes.
and then some other ideas. We'll weave that in later. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to add something to that. So, okay. So, just wanted to, I guess, tune in a little more to our theme of the month of Leo: cultivating creativity, confidence, and self-expression. And, certainly there are people who are Leo who are, maybe this is their time. But we are all under, I always like to say each month, in some way, we're all under that umbrella. And some folks may be more tuned into their own astrology and how it impacts them personally. But just, again, we're thinking about sort of harmonizing or exploring a certain energetic patterns and things that are just a part of life. And Andrea, when I was listening to you, I was thinking about how much of what you were talking about kind of really tunes into life as being an alchemical process, that inner and that outer, and the fire that sometimes moves us outside, but sometimes draws us inside, even to that core of Mother Earth. So, so just really, this is a time to, to harmonize with that. I was also thinking about, and we've touched on this this is our 5th month of this this journey and this exploration, but that that shifting of energies. So last month we were in Cancer, which was a water element sign. And there was that natural pull down and inward, connected to the emotions. So really going deep into our inner essence, our intuition, our feelings. And then again, we're in this transformation of the fire and inviting us to move out and express ourselves in the world and shine our light, just like the light of the sun. And Leo is ruled by the sun, which is, the center of our solar system. And it's sometimes we think of it as that source of life, that energy of creative power. And so really that in a way, there is that shift from inner to outer. But again, we're all going to navigate that differently based on our own journey. So just to be in tune with that. But I guess there's an invitation, really, I think during this time to tune in and explore what we really love, what we enjoy doing in life, what we're the fire, the passion, what lights us up and fills us with joy. And that's, when we think about shining our light into the world, like we want to be plugged into those things that we love and that light us up. So, and sometimes, that requires some reevaluation, of where we are. And this year, I know Andrea, as she mentioned, shared, there's a lot of different astrological things happening at this time. There's some intense ones last week and that are continuing. I just wanted to highlight one that I think is really impactful in terms of this Leo season. And that is Venus is retrograde, has gone retrograde in Leo, in the sign of Leo. And we explored Venus a bit in I guess May time when we were in Taurus season. It's the planet of love and beauty, and I just want to touch on the idea of a retrograde. Maybe some folks might be more familiar with that or not, but usually the impact of the planet is maybe more of an outward influence, and when it's retrograde, it's turned inward. I know most folks have heard about Mercury retrograde, and that when that goes into that phase, it may cause some disruption with communication and information and technical things that Mercury kind of rules. So with Venus retrograde, which is connected again to love and beauty, it may put some pressure on those areas of our life. Maybe relationships come under the microscope, and that could be friends or lovers. Old relationships may surface or may shift. But the reason I'm sharing that in relation to Leo, there's that outer, that dance that Andrea talked about, of the inner and the outer. And so as the Leo energy is like, let's go out and shine our light, that Venus again is inviting us to turn and reflect and go within. So just to tune into that. And I think another aspect of that is really thinking about our values in terms of our life and what we want that to look like, and our relationships. And again, the idea of tuning into creativity, confidence, and self-expression. Just thinking about, what, how are we in alignment, with that, and how we express ourselves in the world, and are there maybe adjustments, that we can make. So some of that is, I always think when there's that dance of the inner and outer, there's certainly times we need to go down into our depths. And then there's times we need to go out and kind of test the waters even. And I'm stepping back into some work that I was doing before the pandemic that I haven't done. And I sort of have tested it in some ways, and it wasn't quite right. I had an opportunity yesterday to try to step into that role again. And, definitely some hesitation, but excitement is something I'm passionate about. And so that passion and that love kind of helped to step into it and to really, I think, strengthen my confidence even more about it. So, so sometimes we don't always feel the confidence right away, but as we kind of harness that energy and our passion, that confidence can build too. So just had a few reflection questions I thought you might like to explore, and we'll put them in the post and in the comments, in the Facebook group, and here when we shared the video on YouTube. So just some things to think about. What is it that you love to do? What are you most passionate about, and what lights you up? How can you connect with the creative force of the universe that exists within you? What values are important to you in your self-expression and how you create your life in the world? How you create your life in the world. So really thinking about that you have that power to create your life. And what values are most meaningful to you in your relationships? And then take some time to explore if your current life expression is in alignment with those values, and how you might need to shift things to create greater alignment. So just some things to think about, to explore, and I'm going to pass it back to Andrea to share some more.
Thanks so much, Beth. Yeah, I'm going to share a practice in a minute, but I'm just going to reflect on the two things about the questions that you were asking. Something that I've noticed by, once we decided on the theme for this month, and I was really feeling the energy of passion and self-love and all, is that I started waking up in the morning with like making up my own songs and just like walking through the house, because I love to sing. And it's one of the things that I don't always do or don't always let myself do. It's like, oh, I don't know, some old story, taking up too much room, or when I'm in a house with people feeling like that I am not as free to do that. And so just whether it's waking up with like, I'm glorious, it's a glorious day, the sun is shining, it's just like music, just words coming out of me and wanting to sing these things over and over again. And how when we tap into that passion, even for a short period of time, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, that the aliveness that it brings to our bodies. And that's really what the practice. I want to do a quick heart coherence practice. And it's one that I return to regularly. It's probably going to be part of the theme every year, several times, because it's such a simple way for us to connect with self-love. And before we do that, this short practice, I also want to mention mirror work, which I attribute to Louise Hay. You Can Heal Your Life. I feel that's where I first really learned about mirror work and being able to look in the mirror and say, I love myself, I love you, or even reassuring myself, everything's going to be okay. There you have the support, and coming up with some ways to calm my nervous system and connect with the love for myself first before radiating that love to others. And to me, that's a big message of Leo, is that like fill yourself up first, and then that light that is so powerful that can be shared out in the world. So let's just take a moment to kind of sink in, and I'll guide you in a simple practice of quick heart coherence. So taking a few breaths. Just begin to focus on your heart. And as you focus on your heart, know that your heart is also connected to your mind and to your gut. And then return to your heart. So let's breathe in for 5 seconds. Take an inhale for 5 seconds. And then exhale for 5 seconds. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale. So because our focus also has been around nature, that Beth and I've been in a field of nature, focusing on your heart, think about something in nature that has brought you joy, gratitude, appreciation. It could be the memory of a rainbow, or a sunrise, or a sunset. It could be a flower that you saw. in the garden, or a bird song that you heard. So just take a moment to tune into, as you keep breathing, something in nature that brings you joy, passion, gratitude, appreciation. And then notice how that connection with your heart, with something in nature, starts to awaken the sensations in your body and brings in possibly a peace and a calm that's good for your nervous system. So focus on your heart for one more minute here and bring in that gratitude and appreciation. And then come back into the room, conversation space. So that's something that you can do anytime. You can do it for a few seconds, just focusing on your heart and bringing in, but it's a good way to regulate your nervous system, to bring that feeling. And it could be a person, it could be a moment, it can be anything that reminds you of a time where you felt gratitude, appreciation, passion, love, joy, and just close your eyes, breathe in and out, focus on your heart, and know that that is connecting to your mind and your gut, so that all these parts of you are connected, and it begins in the heart. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you.
I am complete with that, Beth. So if there's anything else that you want to say.
Yeah, there are just a couple of things. I was thinking, even right before we started the practice, this thought popped into my head, and we've actually been touching on it before we went live, a little bit about the energy, just of the last few years and during the pandemic, and how we were really pulled inward in a lot of ways, both, physically in terms of our place, and then energetically. And so just thinking about being, aware of that as it's been, certainly have been in a phase where we've been moving more out into the world in different ways. But I think when we think about the dance in the inner and outer, and the shifting energies, that there's still, in some ways, stepping out or moving outward or shining your light may feel newer than it did at other times when we hadn't been drawn so far inward. I just felt to touch on that, and definitely, that self-love piece. I think when we think about what we're passionate about and what we love, really, beginning with loving ourselves is a way that we can begin to shine our light within and then out. And I'm a big fan of the mirror work also. It's just been such an incredible practice to work with at different times, very consistently, and then coming back to it at other times. It's such a powerful practice. But one thing I wanted to touch on, which I think that can be really powerful in terms of our self-expression, is that sometimes, both with I'm thinking about the mirror work, but I'm thinking about affirmations and, maybe, offering that, I love myself, I'm worthy, I'm, confident, or I'm good enough. There's the positive aspect of that and the cultivation of that, that, kind of we're awakening those energies in ourselves. And I guess it's always the shaman in me that thinks about the shadow aspect. And so sometimes as we're tuning into those positive energies, that, those feelings, patterns, and beliefs that we're holding, that are not, holding that we're worthy and we're, lovable and things like that, surface. So that might come in the form of our inner critic and those voices, or becoming aware of certain beliefs like we have about the world, maybe like that the world's not safe. It's not safe to shine our light out in the world. And that could be based on past experiences, traumas in this life, past lives. So there's an opportunity, I guess that's just what I wanted to offer, as you work with different practices, as you work on the exploration of self-expression and creativity and shining your light, to just, again, notice what arises for you. This is where journaling and writing can really come in and help to capture some of those feelings, patterns, and beliefs that maybe aren't in alignment, or obstacles to that movement. So I say obstacles. I don't love that word, because I think they're a part of if they're there within us, they're a part of our soul journey and our soul's evolution, and something we need to work through in some way. So, and when we become in touch with them, that's the opportunity. That is the energetic exploration for evolution. So just to be conscious of that, and maybe create some ways to work with that in your writing and journaling and explorations this month, because I think anytime we're sort of stepping out, and in that expansive energy is going to bring up some of our old programming, and we sometimes think of that as a negative thing, but it can actually be a gift if we use it as part of our evolutionary process. And just to be gentle with yourself too, because we all, again, have different experiences, life challenges, traumas, and it may now be a time to tune into that energy of outward expansion. But remember, Venus is also asking us to turn and look within at the same time. So it's your journey. Just explore how you're going to dance with it in your own unique way.
Beautiful. And I'll just put one little addendum there, is that even if you don't think of yourself as a writer, if you look at the questions that we'll be posting here that Beth had just shared, even just writing a few little words for yourself, and it could be on a sticky note to remind yourself of things, that it helps to anchor it in a little bit more. Just write it down. It doesn't have to be anything that you share with anyone else.
Definitely. Yeah. I'm a big fan of list writing.
Yes, lists.
Yeah, or popcorn style. It doesn't have to be sentences or even stream of consciousness. Yeah.
Absolutely. So not let the I am not a writer voice stop you from making a list of things that you have been feeling or sensing from those questions.
And you can even make a voice note, like on your phone, do a short recording. If, I sometimes, as I'm driving, that's when sort of my aha awareness comes up. So I'll just make a recording.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I recorded some of my simple songs this week on voice notes.
Love it.
I was like, I want to remember this. Maybe a songwriter is bubbling inside of me. All right. Anything else that
I just want to say, because I know we're obviously live in the Facebook community, and we're so grateful for everybody who's joined us and exploring with us so far. And we do share this recording on YouTube, on my channel and Andrea's channel. So if anybody who's watching, who's not a part of the Energetic Exploration for Evolution Facebook group, there'll be a link shared that you're welcome to come join us there as well.
Great. Thank you for that. That's what I love about collaborating. Thanks for that completion. And thanks to everyone for listening. We will be back next month also.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. All right. Take
All right.
care, everybody. Have a beautiful day.
I know.